Hi everyone, I'm Terry, and this is the Yarnjoy podcast, episode number 38. Today I have some finished objects to show you, and just a few works in progress, and a yarn haul. So let's get started. Okay, so for my finished objects, last week I showed you that I was working on a reindeer as a part of adding to my Christmas decor collection, I guess you'd say. And I mentioned to you in an earlier episode, and I believe I showed you some pictures of a ladder that I have in my living dining area type place, whatever. Anyway, and it leads up to a little room that we call a loft, which is a little room that opens up into our living room. Anyway, the ladder is a place, it was kind of close to where we had our Christmas tree this past season, and I was wanting to make some little Christmas amigurumi to set on some of the rungs of the ladder. And last year I had the elf on a shelf that I made, and I also had a little Christmas penguin that I had made that was wearing a scarf and a little hat, really cute. And I was wanting to make some other little characters to put on some of the other steps of the ladder. So I found this reindeer pattern that I thought was super cute, and I finished him. So here he is. This is Rudy the reindeer. And for the nose, for his scarf, I used a red sparkly yarn. I don't know if you can see the sparkles in it, but it is some sparkly yarn. And I made it just like the pattern said, except the pattern actually is a pattern by Sarah Basnet. And it's actually called for sock yarn, and I just used Red Heart Super Saver. This is Cafe Latte, and I believe this is a coffee color. And just a white for his belly, and his little muzzle, I guess you'd say, is buff. Yeah, and then that's just cherry red for his nose. Anyway, he turned out a lot bigger than what the pattern called, but I'm glad because with sock weight, he was only going to be about 5 inches tall, I think, and he turned out a really nice size. It's very comparable, I guess you'd say, to the other characters that I have that will be in this collection of characters that I'll be making for my Christmas decor. Anyway, here he is. Super cute. Enjoyed putting him together. Okay, so that is finished object number 1. Now, the other finished object I have is I found a pattern for a Preemie hat that I could use to add to my collection of growing Preemie hats, Preemie character hats, I guess you'd say, to donate for this upcoming year for an area hospital here for their NICU. Actually, it's for the Halloween season. I've done two previous years in a row, and so I intend to donate some hats this year as well. And I just thought I'd make one here or there throughout the year, and then I'll have a good collection of hats to be able to donate to them in the fall. So anyway, this is a Panda Preemie hat right there. So cute, very easy and quick to put together. I used it's just Red Heart Super Saver in white and black, obviously. And I made the little pom-poms for the ears with the Clover pom-pom maker. I don't know the size, but it was the yellow one, so it was about so big, the pom-pom maker. It's one of the smaller ones. And I used just these little white buttons for his eyes. So I think he turned out so cute, and it's definitely Preemie size. I think this is supposed to be for like 2 to 4 pound baby or something like that, so definitely a Preemie size. So anyway, so that's finished object number 2. Oh, and this is a pattern on the website. Well, there's a link from Ravelry, and I will put links in the description box of all the patterns that I show. on this episode, but it takes you to a website called Cream of the Crop Crochet. So that's where this came from. Okay, and so the only other finished objects I have is part of my 365 Days of Granny Squares project that I've been doing anyway. And so last week I had left off on square number 109. So here is my squares for the week. Okay, so this is number 110 right there. And obviously you can see that's very wonky. I didn't block it. But once it gets bordered and put into the blanket, it will straighten out. So that's 110. Excuse me, I have to let my dog out. Just a minute. Okay, sorry. He wanted to come into the room with me before I started my episode, and as usual, he was in here just a little bit, and then he wanted to go back out. So anyway, okay, back to the squares. This number 111 is this one. This has the some bullion stitches here. Okay, this one is 112. That's a circle. It just looks a little wonky. Okay, this is 113. Right there. It's got a big 3D flower all up to the edges of it. Okay, so 113. This one is 114. It's very stretchy. It looks like it's kind of small, but see, once you stretch it out, be able to see. I'll stick my fingers in the corners. Okay, and that's 114, and the last one I did for this week is number 115. Okay, so that's my 6 squares for the week. That's all the finished objects that I got done. I spent a lot of time doing some of the works in progress that I worked on, but also I wanted to get the reindeer finished. Okay, so for my works in progress, I added last week's 6 squares to my 365 Granny Square blanket series, I guess you'd say. Upside down again, hang on. Okay, so we now have 4 rows going 6 across. The bottom one, those are the ones I just put on this past week. So now I have 4 rows by 6, 4 by 6. And so I will definitely be doing 2 more rows, rows 5 and 6. That will give me a 6 by 6 square. And then I will see how big it is, and I may end off there and then put border around it if I need to enlarge it just a little bit. But I'm happy with the way it's coming out. I'm attaching these squares with the flat braid join as you go method. That's my favorite method to join squares together. If you've been watching my videos, you see that I talk about it a lot. Just about everything I do that are squares, I put it together with that method. I would like to maybe possibly do a tutorial maybe to show how I put those together. It's not my pattern. I think there's probably a flat braid method, other tutorials out there, but I may go ahead and make one just to have one for reference on my channel. We'll see. I'm still kind of new at the editing and all that, and I'm a left-hander, so I would have to figure out how to flip it, mirror flip it for right-handed versions. So we'll see. I really would like to try to do that though. So in the future. Okay, so let's see. That is number 1 works in progress. Number 2 works in progress is my around the bases blanket. I didn't get a whole lot. I think I got maybe 3 rows or so, 3 or 4 maybe started. I had to add the 3rd cake. This is made with the mandala Lion Brand Mandala in the colorway Spirit. And I had to today I had to add on the third cake. And the way that the color sequence was going, I was wanting it to continue with the same sequence. So what I had to do was I had to pull out, I'll show you because I pulled it out with my ball winder so I could keep it in the same order. I had to pull out that much of the cake so then I could get to the right color to get it started. So I will finish this, and then I think this will be, when I get to the end of this, it will end up hopefully the beginning of this one and then I'll go through this one. So that's what I had to do to get to the point where I was at the right color to continue on with this blanket. So there it is. I believe I am on row 46, I think. Something like that. Okay, so let's see, what else? Oh, so now that it's February, well, I showed it to you last week too, but the crochet along that I'm kind of hostessing, I guess, which is the Christmas blanket. Let me find a picture of it. Okay, the Christmas character blanket that I am doing, and there, a few of my friends that watch me on YouTube here, they are doing it with me, and so we are showing each other our progress and stuff over on the Facebook page that I started called Yarnjoy Podcast. And if you're not a member of that group over there, please go over and join. You don't have to participate in this crochet along to join. I mean, just go over there and join, so that way I can see the project. You can post pictures of projects and things that you're working on, and so that way I can see, and then some of my other viewers or other members of that group can see what you're working on as well. But anyway, the crochet along, the ones that we're doing, or the one that we're doing, sorry, is the Christmas character crochet along, and it's from Repeat Crafter Me, Sarah Zimmerman, and it is the Christmas character blanket. Right there's the picture, and so if you count all the squares there, there's 9 squares, and then there's 2 panels, so that makes 11. And so we are doing 1 square per month, plus the 2 banners, so that would get us into November to put it together, and then by December we will have a blanket to put on our couch for Christmas or give as a gift, Christmas gift. So anyway, so last month we did the Santa square, and then this month we are working on the Christmas tree square. We're just doing it in the order of the way Sarah Zimmerman released it on her website. You can do any square you want to, but that's how we're doing it. Anyway, here's my progress. I'm over halfway now, because as you see, I'm straightening off the corners there. And I am using a red sparkly yarn. You might be able to see some sparkles, maybe. But anyway, for the garland on my tree. And I decided to change my background to a purple background. And I think that, the original one had green, and I decided since the tree was green, I wanted to change my background color. So anyway, I'm getting down, to the decreases there, so shouldn't take me too much longer to finish that. So that's my February square. And to kind of continue the theme on this, okay, on my Santa square, for the white part of his hat, I think maybe the little pom-pom on the end of his hat, I can't remember if I did or not, but anyway, I used a sparkle yarn to kind of be something different than the white in his beard. And so for this one, I'm using a sparkly yarn for the red garland. So I've decided, well, I've used sparkly yarn for at least for one thing of both of those squares. So I thought I would continue on through my squares and pick out an item in each square that I could use the sparkly yarn with to unite it together. So that's what I've decided to do. And that really, well, I will transition to my purchases then, because I don't have any other works in progress that I actively worked on this week, because I had these ones that I wanted to get finished. So for my purchases, I went to Joann's today, and I bought a few items, not many, few. Anyway, sorry for the rustling, but I'll show you. Let's put my sack right here. Okay, so as I was telling you about the sparkly yarn that I want to use, I picked up this green. It's Karen Simply Soft Party, and it's got a green sparkle. I think you can see some sparkles. Anyway, this one is called Spring Sparkle, and so this is a green. So on the next square, I'll show you this again here. Let me zoom it up so you can see it really good. Okay, so on the next square is a snowman, and he has a green band around his hat, a hat band, and then his scarf is a red and green stripe. And so I think I'm going to use the sparkle, the red and green sparkle for the scarf, and then the green sparkle for the headband. So that's my sparkle accent for that square. Okay, so that's one thing I picked up today. And then, let's see, I picked up just some basic colors. I picked up this gray, it is called Light Gray. It's Big Twist Sincerely. This is a Joann's yarn. Similar or comparable, I assume, to like a Red Heart Super Saver, I suppose. But I liked the gray color. I found a couple of patterns that I just recently put in my library on Ravelry. Oh, and if you want to come over and see what I've got in my library on Ravelry, my Ravelry name is TJS140. And so you can add me as a friend on there and come over and look at the patterns I have. But anyway, two patterns I recently put on there is a pattern for an amigurumi hippo that I thought was so cute, and an elephant also. So I picked up this gray thinking I could use that. It's kind of a gray heathered color for either one of those characters. I think would be super cute. Okay, I also picked up the Big Twist Value in the, this is the medium denim, and I picked up this because this is the color that I used for the background of my Santa square, and I will be using the color again for one of the other squares in the blanket. And so I was about to run out of the existing skein, so I bought a second one. Okay, so that's those two. And then I bought this, and now this goes with the project that I will be starting this next week. This is, let's see, Buttercream Luxe Craft, and it is Joann's yarn, and it's called Angel Hair, and it's in white, and it's very fuzzy. I think it might be a bulky. Yeah, it's a number 5 weight, a bulky yarn. And the reason I got this is because a friend of mine saw the giraffe that I did let's see, I showed it to you last episode. I think it was last episode. I think, or maybe 2 episodes ago. I don't know. 2 episodes, I think. Anyway, the giraffe that I made for a young couple at church that recently had a baby. But anyway, she saw the picture of the giraffe on my Instagram feed post, and she asked me if I could make her a llama. I was like, okay, a llama. Well, I'll look for a pattern. So I found the sweetest pattern. So cute. And I'm going to make her. This is, I believe her name is, I don't have the name, but I think it's Lola the llama. And I have a picture of the pattern right there. Isn't she cute? So cute. She's got this little blanket that goes around on her back, And I've got some Caron Simply Soft different colors that's kind of a shine, has a shine to them. And so I will use that for the stripes on the blanket. But the body, you know, because llamas are fuzzy. And so I'm going to use this. This is the yarn that the lady that designed the pattern used. And so I picked this up to use for the body of the llama. So I think it's going to be super cute. I'm really looking forward to starting this pattern. So that's what's going to be coming along for next week. So I bought 2 of these because I thought, well, it'd be so cute. I may just have to make another one for myself. So I did buy 2 of these. Okay. So the only other thing I bought, let's see, I did buy some safety eyes, 15 millimeter safety eyes, and this is going to be for a panda pattern that I have. That is another one of my Christmas amigurumis. It's a really cute panda that's got it's wearing a scarf, and it takes 15 millimeter eyes, and so I bought a package of those. I bought well, 2 packages. One of them that's just black, and then the other one is actually brown. It's got you can see a brown iris with a black pupil. It's actually animal eyes, but they're both 15 millimeters, so I'll decide which ones I want to use once I get it put together to that point. And the only other thing I bought was some beading wire that I had to buy for to use for some zipper pulls for some bags I'm working on. Okay, so that's my purchases. That's my works in progress, my finished objects. So that's about it, I guess. Thank you so much to my subscribers that I have had all this time during my videos that I've made, and thank you so much for my new subscribers. The last time I checked, I think I'm at 497, so I'm almost to 500, which is just awesome. I've only been making videos, well, I've been making videos since about May, I think, of last year, so it hasn't been a year yet, but I'm just having such a great time making these videos, and it's just awesome to see how many people are subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I love to share my projects with everybody. It's just such a fun thing to do. And I love watching other people's videos as well. So thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. So that way you can come back every week and see what I've done and the progress I've made on my projects. So I think that's about it that I needed to say. The weather's been kind of mild. I think it's going to get cooler again tomorrow, but nothing like some pictures I have seen. I think there was a picture on somebody in my Facebook group, or I think it was mine, I'm not sure, but she posted a picture of her Valentine's, and it was a view out her window, and it was snow everywhere, and I had to look up to see where she was from, and she was from Idaho, so I know that there's lots of you that are having snow. We barely had just a few flakes a month or so, well, it was right before Christmas, just to see a little white, and that was it. So that's about all we got. But anyway, I'm hoping that everybody's doing well and escaping the flu bug and having a great week. And I guess we will see you. Well, we will. I will be here next week to have another video. I hope you'll come back and see what I've been doing. And so everybody have a great week. And we'll see you next week. Bye.